Hi, my name is Afrina Safawati binti Asli. Okay, our group choose for olive fermentation, and from the table of content, we have introduction of fermented olive, process, flow diagram and explanation, fermentation process, the improvement, safety and regulation, and also all the reference. Okay, for the introduction of fermented olive. Okay, olive in their raw form are ethylene bitter due to compound called oleotin. To make them edible and flavor, they undergo a fermentation process. In the most common method, known as Spanish-style fermentation, olives are first treated with a mild sodium hydroxide solution to remove bitterness. They are then washed and placed in a green solution which promotes the growth of beneficial lactic acid bacteria. These lactic acid bacteria, like Lactobacillus plantarum and L. pentosus, produce lactic acid, which help to preserve the olive and give them their sour, tangy taste. What even more interesting is the health impact. Fermented olive are rich in antioxidants like hydroxytyrosol and oleotin, and may even act as a prebiotic. This means they can support gut health, reduce inflammation, and contribute to overall wellness. In short, olive fermentation is not just about improving flavor and shelf life. It is also enhance the nutritional and functional value of the food.
Hi, I am NASUHA. So next, I will proceed to the process flow diagram in producing fermented olive. Firstly, olive are harvested in September and October, which is depend on the desired ripeness. There are two main methods, which is the first one is manual picking, which ensure the high quality olive with the minimal bruising. And the second one is mechanized the harvesting, which is involve the shaking or beating the branches. To maintain the quality, olive should be processed within 48 hours after the harvest. Next, after harvesting, olives are sorted to remove damaged or defective fruits that could affect the entire batch. They are then thoroughly washed with the water to eliminate dirt, leaves, twigs, and any chemical residues. Industry setup often use continuous flow water system for efficiency. Next, olives are lightly cracked or slit with a knife. This step helps to leach out the bitterness faster and allows the brain to penetrate more effectively and speeding up the fermentation. The cracked olives are soaked in plain water for about 10 to 14 days. The water is changed daily to prevent the microbial growth. This process removes the oleotin, which is a bitter compound that naturally found in olive. The brine solution is made using the clean water and non-iodized salt, like sea salt. The salt concentration usually range from 4% to 12%, which is depend on the process stage. Flavor enhancer like vinegar, herbs, lemon, or olive oil may also be added. The olives are placed into a clean container filled with brine. A wig is added to keep them submerged. Creating an aerobic condition is essential for safe fermentation and preventing the mold. Fermentation is driven by naturally occurring microorganisms, especially lactic acid bacteria and yeast. Ideal conditions include a temperature of 80 to 24 degrees and pH between 3.8 and 4.2. The process may take weeks to over a year depending on olive type and style. Once fermentation slows, we can add garlic, herbs, lemon slice, or chili for flavor. Olives are packed into the sterilized jars with either fresh or clean reused brine and stored in a cool place or fridge to prevent spoilage and allow slow maturation. After 1 to 3 months, the olives are ready to eat.
My name is NURUL. Nur AINA SYAZWINA binti Muhammad Yunus. Now I will be explaining the natural fermentation process of olives, a critical step in producing safe, flavorful and shelf-stable olives. This process is typically divided into three main phases, which is the initial phase, the main fermentation phase, and the final maturation phase. Let's start with the initial phase. During this stage, various microorganisms naturally present on the olives and in the environment begin to grow. These include lactic acid bacteria, also known as lab, along with yeast, molds, and gram-negative bacteria like Enterobacteriaceae. Common lab genera active in this stage include Lactobacillus, Leuconostoc, Streptococcus, and Sphaerococcus. These microorganisms begin to establish a stable microbial environment and slightly lower the pH to prepare for the next. Next is the main fermentation phase, which is the most important part of the process. This begins when the pH reaches around 6. At this point, labs such as Leuconostoc and Sphaerococcus begin to dominate, while harmful gram-negative bacteria start to decline. A short and controlled duration is ideal to allow lab to outcompete any undesirable microbes. As pH continues to drop to around 5, species like L. gravis, L. fermentum, and L. buchneri become dominant. Eventually, L. plantarum takes over due to its high acid tolerance, producing more organic acids and dropping the pH below 4, which stabilizes the olives. Finally, we have the final maturation phase, which is also the longest. It can last up to 2 months. During this stage, the acidity becomes too high for most bacteria, except for acid-tolerant ones like L. plantarum and L. pentosus. Other lactobacillus species are typically inhibited. Several factors influence the duration of this phase, such as temperature, initial sugar and salt content, and the dominance of lab. The continued activity of lab during this phase is essential because it contributes to the development of the olive's final flavor and texture. To conclude, each phase of the natural fermentation process is crucial to ensure safety, control spoilage, and produce olives with the desired taste and quality. Understanding this stage helps improve the overall fermentation outcome.
Okay, for the improvement, let's how artificial intelligence or AI is transforming the olive fermentation process. Okay, traditionally, olive fermentation is relies heavily on manual control and experience, which can lead to inconsistent quality and longer processing time. But with AI, we can now automate it and optimize the entire process for better results. AI systems use real-time data from sensors like temperature, pH, and microbial activity to monitor the fermentation environment. Based on this data, AI can adjust conditions automatically, like turning the salt level or temperature to keep fermentation on track. It also helps in selecting the best bacterial strain by analyzing huge dataset, so we get faster acid production, better flavor, and stronger probiotic benefit. Some systems even use computer vision to detect early signs of spoilage or mold, ensuring high product quality. Overall, AI not only boosts the consistency and safety of fermented olive, but also supports sustainability by reducing waste and energy use. It's a major step forward in smart food manufacturing.
Next, for the second improvement, we are trying to improve the bioreactor design optimization by using solid-state fermentation involving microorganisms on solid materials without free-flowing water, mimicking natural microbial habitats. This method could increase the concentration of beneficial phenolic compounds, notably hydrothyrosol, which possesses antioxidant properties. Second, we could also use rotating drum bioreactor. A rotating drum consists of a cylindrical vessel that rotates around its axis, mixing the solid substrate and microorganisms. This ensures even distribution of nutrients moisture, and microbial inoculum throughout the substrate. This design focused on rotation speed, aeration, and moisture control would prevent shear stress, enhance oxygen supply, and prevent substrate drying. Using rotating drum bioreactor will help in improving the breakdown of bitter compound like oleuropein, uniform fermentations, and enhancing the probiotic properties of the final product. For the third suggestion for improvement, genetic engineering of lactic acid bacteria, or LAB. The first one, enhance debittering capabilities. Engineering LAB strains, the overexpressed beta-glucoside enzymes can accelerate the hydrolysis of oleuropein, the compound responsible for olive bitterness, which in result reduce the fermentation time and improve the flavor. Next, probiotic properties. Genetically enhanced LAB to produce bioactive compounds can add probiotic benefits to the final product, producing functional foods. Effective probiotic strains demonstrate the ability to adhere to intestinal cells and aggregate, which can inhibit pathogenic bacteria.
Hi, my name is Amy Samaria Anasher, and I will talk about safety and regulation. Firstly is GMP. First is personal hygiene. All personnel must wear clean uniform, hairnet, glove, and cloth shoe. Second is facility cleanliness. Processing area must be kept clean, dry, and well ventilated. Thirdly is equipment maintenance. Equipment, such as fermenting tanks, must be cleaned and sanitized before and after use. Fourth is water quality. Only potable drinking quality water should be used for washing, olive, preparing, brine, and cleaning. Next is raw material control. Olive must be salted and inspected to remove damage or spoiled fruits. Next is brining process control. Brine concentration must be measured and documented. For example, typically 8 to 12% in SL. Next is pest control. Implement a pest management plan, including traps, spraying, and inspection. Next is cross-contamination prevention. Use color powder, tool, and container to avoid cross-use between raw and fermented products. Next is storage and packaging. Fermented olive must be stored in clean, sterilized containers. Lastly is documentation and record. Keep record of ingredients, batches, processing dates, brine check, and cleaning logs. So that's all for GMP. Next is HACCP. There are few steps that I included in this slide, which is sorting and washing. The hazard is physical contaminant such as soil, stone, wood. The control measure is use of potable water and mechanical washer. Next step is debittering and brining. Hazard is microbial contamination. The control measure is use of clean, sanitized container, proper brine concentration at 12 mSL. Next is fermentation. Growth of spoilage of pathogenic microbes. Monitor temperature 18 to 24 Celsius. pH ideal is 3.8 to 4.2 and salt levels. That's all for me. Thank you.